The Bible's vision of justice is holistic, addressing racial, economic, and leadership ethics within the framework of God's righteousness. The Old Testament prophets and Jesus emphasize that justice is not separate from faith, but an expression of it. Over the next several videos, we will explore these three areas biblically and practically. The first topic is racial justice, God's vision for reconciliation. The biblical foundation for racial and ethnic justice is deeply rooted in God's design for unity in diversity. We know that all people bear God's image according to Genesis 1:27, where it declares that all humans are created in God's image, making racism and ethnic superiority an assault on God's design. Secondly, we know that God's heart is for the foreigner and oppressed, which is expressed in Deuteronomy 10:17-19, where God commands Israel to love and care for the foreigner because he shows no partiality. And as I've discussed in previous videos, Jesus' ministry broke racial barriers. Jesus engaged with Samaritans, according to John 4. He healed Gentiles in Mark 7:24-30, and he commissioned his disciples to make disciples of all nations, according to Matthew 28. Lastly, the church's multi-ethnic calling is deeply rooted in God's heart for unity in diversity. The early church struggled with ethnic divisions, yet Paul emphasized there is neither Jew nor Gentile, for you are all one in Christ Jesus, according to Galatians 3:28. Now, let's review how we can live out these truths through practical application. The first is to reject tribalism and all forms of supremacy. Speak out against racial injustice, whether personal or systemic, as a matter of Christian obedience. Be a bridge for reconciliation. Work in Christian communities, starting within your own local church, if possible, to foster honest conversations on race that lead to healing and action. By the way, this is not a one and done. Racism is deeply rooted in every fabric of our lives and community. We didn't get here overnight, so we must be intentional and diligent about rooting out its tentacles. Finally, live out a multi-ethnic gospel. Support and engage in churches and ministries that intentionally reflect the diversity of God's kingdom. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more topics in this series. To find out more about how to start racial healing conversations, visit my bio link in Facebook or IG. Thank you.